Welcome to the General Information and Safety Procedures video for the Fancy Cord Knit Spin operation. Please pay attention to the following important information. At A&E, safety is the #1 priority. No matter what process or machine you are working with, you must always wear earplugs. When working in the Fancy Cord room, there are special requirements for personal protective equipment. Because all Fancy Cord PPE can be found in the box directly outside of the Fancy Cord room. 4 things must be worn at all times when in the Fancy Cord room. First, shoe covers must be worn. Second, each operator must wear a hairnet. Third, operators must wear a face mask if they have any facial hair. Fourth, operators are given a lab coat to wear while in the room. Fancy Cord is a hygiene product, so self-sanitation is key for operators. Utilize the various hand sanitizer dispensers located throughout the room multiple times during your shift. Here's a quick recap on the required personal protective equipment that Fancy Cord knit spin operators must wear. Number 1. Earplugs. Number 2. Lab coat. Number 3. Hairnet. Number 4. Face mask if you have facial hair. And number 5. Shoe covers.
Any hand contact to skin, you must use hand sanitizer.
Once inside of the Fancy Cord room, it is important to be able to differentiate between the different knit spin frames. Each frame uses different colored DOF package tubes. Frame 1 always uses the yellow and white tubes. Frame 2 always uses the brown tubes. Frame 3 always uses the blue tubes. Frame 4 always uses the pink tubes. It is also important to be able to differentiate between each individual spindle. Each individual spindle on a frame has a specific number. The spindle number is displayed on the glass face of the knitting box in the upper right-hand corner. At all times, ensure that the spindle number and the number on the labels located at that spindle match. When using a ladder, make sure to use the locking mechanism by activating it with your foot. Your safety is always the #1 priority. When you are finished using the ladder, unlock it by stepping on the unlocking mechanism with your foot. As with any operation, it is very important to pay attention to all warning signs and labels. In the Fancy Cord room, warnings are located on the spindles, frames, and the television's position throughout the room. Each knit spin frame also has an emergency stop cord that an operator can pull to shut down the frame in the case that he or she gets stuck in the frame. You should also be aware of the location of the emergency shutoff button below the control frames. When your shift is over or you are exiting the Fancy Cord room for a break, personal protective equipment must be disposed of in the appropriate location. Shoe covers, hairnets, and face masks should be thrown away in the marked trash can by the exit doors. Lab coats can be hung on the hooks next to the exit doors. Thank you for watching the General Information and Safety Procedures video for the Fancy Cord knit spin operation. Do not forget, at A&E, safety is the #1 priority. Please know the procedures and rules before you attempt to operate any machine or move on to the next video, knowing the knit spin materials, machine, and tools.